I've been watching these AI videos. I come across them once in a while. Blue bacon, another one. And I always saying, oh, the Hutchinson effect was never replicated, and the scientists are perplexed. Well, of course they are. I had a lot of mentors in my early days, in the 70s, 80s, up to Ken Shoulders. Ha! One of the best, Ken Shoulders. Also had mentors telling me how to cast Babbitt bearings, how ships and shipyards things vanish. Why? Because of the high intensity discharge of sparks and things. Okay, well, I had a lot of mentors, all the way up to Ken Shoulders. Okay, also a friend of Tesla's, Thomas Lee Richardson, who I hung out with quite a bit. That was in the early 90s. Yeah, with a friend of mine, Stan Reddick, who took care of Thomas Lee Richardson in his house full of Tesla artifacts and books. I have some of them here. I wonder why the scientists bitch and complain. Oh, can't replicate it. Do they understand any of this stuff? No. I doubt it. How to build it. I read all the Tesla stuff in the early 80s and replicated it. And luckily scrapyards had the right materials. Yeah, you need a good disruptive discharge transformer. A properly made Tesla coil, properly made other items from that time frame, 40s, 30s. Come on, you idiots out there. This is called a John Hutchison rant. Do you understand the mechanics of this? The mechanics of vacuum tubes? Probably not. As you sit around with your plastic, white-colored junk, modern junk. Nah, I don't think so. And never going to replicate it. I don't think so. Not too many old timers around anymore, is there? Probably not, huh? Each vacuum tube, different numbers, have different properties. Pentagrid converter, triodes, pentodes. Some of the modern stuff like this has transistors. I understand those. Do you know what this is and how it works? And all the tubes used in it, huh? Main. Or any of these things, huh? The reason I like it because they're well made and they have character and history. It's not all about I don't write any papers or anything like that. I'm not into that crap. I'm not even a scientist. I just adore things made a long time ago and the history on them and the makers and the engineers. Okay? That covers quite a territory, including machine tools. No, I had a lot of good mentors. For some reason, they were around and taught me how to do stuff. Let's say how to pour Babbitt bearings on a shaft in place. Yeah, I'm bitching today. John's rant. God, the world's full of so many damn nice people and a lot of stupid people. Well, humans are doing best at killing each other, and the negative side of humans, the positive side of great acts of kindness. That's so true. Do you understand what this is? Nah, you're happy with your piece of junk. You don't understand what this is. How it works. Probably not. No. Do you know what a gravitometer is? So a lot of the diagrams and specifications I studied and built. Thank God I wasn't meant to fit in this world. Thank God for that. So I have been taught a lot. I'm still learning every bloody day. It's so much fun. So, machine tools. I accepted this modern one here. All 9,000 pounds of it. Because it's well made and guaranteed and all came with all kinds of cool attachments. You gotta know what you're doing or you get caught up in a lathe and get wrapped around it, right? This is like one of my first interests. All the engineering that goes into cannons and artillery, right? Right. Still love that stuff, yeah. Keeps me out of trouble. How many do you know what this is? Nobody, I guess. Except a few. Anyway. Learn. I'm learning. Every night I go on YouTube or Chat GTP and search out what this is, because I don't know what it is. At the time, now I do. Thanks to a friend back in Massachusetts who's into the old stuff too. Young guy too, wow. I like watching his videos. He teaches me stuff. I'm still learning, right? Bit of a cloudy day today, so I'd do a rant. And some old timers have YouTube videos, like Tubal Cain or Mr. Pete and machining and Lorenz Law and many other things. But Thomas Lee Richardson pointed out a lot of stuff in diagrams of Tesla, and all his stuff when he passed away was the house was closed off, government didn't allow us to try and save any of the stuff. Cantor Realty on Granville Street. It was eventually, I'm told, shipped to England, but nothing appeared. You think some of that stuff would appear on eBay? No, unfortunately, a lot of that stuff gets thrown into the garbage. Lawrence St. Ives, Tesla's great aunt, was Tesla's secretary. Lawrence St. Ives lived in San Francisco. We never met. We only emailed and talked on the phone. But Thomas Lee Richardson was in Vancouver, Canada, on 20th Street. Not too far from Peter Sikora, Satellite Electronics on Main Street, which I haunted every scrapyard in Vancouver and military surplus. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. Can't be replicated? Yeah, because you're way off course. I think George Hathaway tried something, but he doesn't understand the interconnections between mass, vintage, and engineering of these old things, is my opinion. But I think George was amazing. He could put up with a lunatic like me. I wonder how Chris is doing. More medical mishaps, right? Any lawyers out there that won't take on a medical case? Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of idiots out there with a lot of stupid YouTube videos. I was just watching 9/11 and the rescue dogs, history of them. Carrie was a little miniature Australian Shepherd that joined the force. Got a nice picture of him. That was a horrible disaster. Terrorist aircraft smashing into buildings and fire and destruction. Unfortunately, a lot of people make another issue out of it. But actually, in fact, fire can destroy a lot of metal. Too many damn stupid people live there. Don't realize what reality is. It can be more interesting than made-up fantasies. Right? Yeah. Gravity collapse, fire. Oh, hell of a mess. And a building is mostly empty space. Anyway, if these lunatics go on and on and on and on, forming cults, they don't take into consideration the rescue dogs or the rescue firemen and many others involved in rescuing. Sad to say. Anyway, my rant is my rant. So, science should be truth and not fantasy and made up lies and manipulation. Wow. So what else can I rant about? Oh yeah, Donald Trump. $1 billion loser. And his whole cabinet of criminals. Pretty sad, isn't it? Yeah, turned it a hell of a mess. Anyway, off I go. End of rant.